Most people are looking for a strategy, but what they really need is a mirror. You're sitting there, scrolling through a screen full of success stories, watching other people win, while your bank account quietly says zero. You feel like a ghost in your own life, present but unseen, watching everyone else build their empires while you're stuck choosing between a bus ticket and a decent meal. You think your problem is money. It's not. Your real problem is that you've become comfortable in your struggle. You've accepted the identity of the broke student like it's a life sentence. But what if I told you that the zero in your account isn't a hole, it's a foundation? Imagine a young man named Elias. He's 20 years old, sitting in the back of a lecture hall. His stomach growls loud enough to compete with the professor's voice. He has exactly $4 to his name. To the world, he's just another student. To himself, he's a failure in progress. At night, he sits in the library, not studying for exams, staring at a blank laptop screen, hunting for the secret, the shortcut, the how-to. He wants his first $1,000 a month, not because of the money, but because he thinks it will finally make him feel real. He tried what everyone told him to try: mindless surveys that paid pennies, get-rich-quick schemes that promised everything and delivered nothing, and every failure made that zero feel heavier, like a weight pressing down on his chest. He'd walk home in the rain, staring up at glowing apartment windows, wondering what those people knew that he didn't. He felt invisible. Then, one night, the power in his tiny apartment shut off. He couldn't pay the bill. He sat in complete darkness, the only light coming from a street lamp outside his window. And in that silence, something clicked. For months, he'd been asking the wrong question. Not, how do I get money, but who do I need to become? Money doesn't come to people who need it. Money comes to people who provide value. And Elias realized something brutal. He was providing nothing. He wasn't a creator. He wasn't a problem solver. He was just a consumer, a ghost. The next morning, he didn't look for a job. He looked for a problem. He walked through his town with his eyes open. He saw a bakery owner struggling with terrible photos on a website that looked like it was built in 1995. He saw a landscaping business with a social media page untouched for 3 years. He saw tired people, busy people, overwhelmed people, a world full of problems. He had no degree, no fancy camera, no money, just a library card and a hunger that refused to die. For 14 days straight, he lived in that library, 12 hours a day. He didn't study for class. He studied one thing: how to make businesses look good online. Free videos, free blogs, endless practice on a battered old laptop until his eyes burned. Then came the hardest part, the part most people will never do. He walked into the bakery. His heart pounded. His palms were soaked with sweat. He didn't ask for a job. He didn't ask for money. He looked the owner in the eyes and said, "Your bread is the best in the city, but your website makes it look like cardboard. Give me 1 week. I'll fix it for free. If you don't like it, we never speak. If you love it, you pay me what you think it's worth." She looked at him, this skinny kid with shadows under his eyes. Then she nodded. Elias didn't sleep that week. He poured everything he had into that project because he wasn't just building a website, he was building a way out. When he showed her the final result, she didn't just pay him, she cried. She handed him $200. It wasn't 1,000, it wasn't 1,000,000, but for the first time in his life, he had traded a skill for gratitude. That $200 felt heavier than gold. It was proof. But the road from 200 to 1,000 isn't straight. It's paved with rejection. He visited 10 more businesses. 8 kicked him out. 1 ignored him. But the 10th was a gym owner who needed a full brand overhaul. This time, Elias didn't ask for 200. He asked for 500. And because he had proof, the owner said yes. The math changed.
He stopped chasing money and started chasing problems. He stopped being a student trying to make money and became someone who solved problems for a living. The secret isn't the niche. It isn't the algorithm. It's sacrifice. While his friends partied, Elias edited videos for clients in other time zones. While his classmates slept in, he cold-called businesses until his voice cracked. He learned something powerful. The first $1,000 isn't about money. It's about the person you become to earn it. You have to kill the version of yourself that makes excuses. Kill the version that fears rejection. Understand this. Your zero is an advantage. When you have nothing to lose, and that makes you dangerous. By the end of the semester, Elias hit his goal, $1,200 in a single month. Standing at an ATM, watching the cash slide out, he didn't feel rich, he felt real. The money didn't change his life, discipline did, late nights did, the courage to walk into rooms where he wasn't invited did. If you're a student staring at zero right now, don't wish for it to be easy. Wish for the strength to endure the silence of the beginning. There is no trick, only work, only value, only relentless growth. You don't need $1,000 to start. You need to start to get the 1,000. The world owes you nothing, but it rewards value. So look around you. Find the pain. Find the mess. Find someone struggling. Fix it for them. Do it for free until you're so good they'd be fools not to pay you. That's how you go from 0 to 1,000. 0 is a choice. 1,000 is a consequence.